What's with all these Uber Eats and DoorDash orders going on now? They want to give you one order per 3 or 4 hours because they said the area is saturated with drivers? Did we all of a sudden start earning $1 an hour now? I noticed that Trump said that he was going to make sure that the truck drivers in the U.S. could actually speak English. When will they have that happen with the Uber and Lyft drivers? I've had many customers tell me before they got into a car and the driver could not communicate with them. How will that work when they're getting ready to take a freeway exit or on-ramp? How will that work if all of a sudden the rider is sick inside the car and can't communicate with the driver? I think that Trump needs to extend that to the drivers out here that are oversaturating the area, and now we're getting offered the $3 rides, $3 delivery. Uber yesterday. What did they say? Oh, here, deliver a sandwich for somebody for $2.78. Does that make sense that someone would go into a restaurant, pick up the food, drive it over to the person's house, deliver it on their doorstep, take a picture of it, and when you get done with the order, it says you earned $2.78. And they're basically waiting for the tip to compensate the driver for their time, their gas, their distance, the wear and tear on their car. All of the expenses that a driver has to go through to perform this job. This is just insane. That you would go from a company taking 20 to 25% of the fare to now thinking it's okay to take 70 to 80%. Now, where's all my tips at? I'd like to know where that is. And to be over here out trying to do these food orders where they're saying, well, we don't have enough it's not that busy, and we're only able to give each driver 1 to 2 rides or 1 to 2 food deliveries. Excuse me? What happened? Did you run off all the customers with your fares? Did you get rid of all the veteran drivers because of the garbage offers of $3.10 to drive somebody around? Do they really expect a driver to take the huge risk of having someone get into their car, not knowing anything about them, for $3.10? This joke about how now the company is charging the riders more because of the insurance? Excuse me, we all know. With a $25 deductible, you can get insurance for $78 a month through Progressive. This is insane, and it's too bad that they had to ruin the company. I was thinking that DoorDash was a lot better, but so far, here's 2 orders for you, and then it fluctuates. Maybe that they're giving some drivers more on certain days to keep them on, and other drivers on different days. It's like, here, reboot the app. Okay, you do that 3 times a day. You talk to support. You send the chat back and forth. And when it reloads, guess what? You're sitting out in the middle of a lagoon or a bay. You're sitting in the middle of the water. And if not, it shows that you're sitting out in the middle of San Francisco. There's just way too many games that are going on. And actually, if they want to ask you a question, and same with Uber, if they want to throw a question in at you, like, can we follow the other apps you're on. We want to sit here and watch every move you make for our future robot that's coming along. It'll all of a sudden put you on hold. It won't offer you anything else until it gets an answer to that question. This stuff about making $6 in 4 hours, it's an absolute joke. You know, I sure hope that the labor commissioner, the attorney general, and, you know, many of the attorneys that are fighting for the drivers, Rideshare Drivers United, I hope that you get to view this video, because this is a joke. And a lot of it has to do with they've got so many people out here driving that think $3 an hour is what they're supposed to make, because it's definitely not. That Dara Kakashawi telling people that his drivers are making $36 an hour, that's a fucking out-and-out lie, okay? Drivers are not making $36 an hour. And when you do the math, you're making about $7 an hour, if you're lucky. They just asked me to deliver a package, drive 28 miles with a package for $15. Deduct out the gas. What are you going to make? $5 bill? Absurd. It's time for us all to go down to a regular place like a restaurant or whatever, bookkeeping, something like that, work for a bank. But this is an absolute joke, and I hope they all go under soon, because they're well on their way. All right, you guys have a good day. Try to stay alive. I hope you can get some groceries tonight, because we're not going to be getting it with this. Okay, later.